Okay, so then, see number 10, starting Mahayana. So practitioner, Bodhisattva's practice, starting page 10. Other is part is like beginner practitioner. So this is in the Bodhisattva practice, starting page 10. So we have to think about all beings used to our loved ones, parents. So now they are stuck in suffering. So that's why we only get our own happiness. It's not that much great. That's why we wanted to benefit for other beings. So that is the core practice of Bodhisattva. Practice of Bodhisattva means not thinking about our own benefits and wanted to help for others. Then wanted to help for others is, of course, ordinary. Everyone has wanted to help others, but we really cannot say they are Bodhisattva. So wanted to help for others is like you really know truth. Truth is understand it is absolute truth, liberation. So you want to help them liberate from samsara. That is called Bodhisattva. Not only you benefiting something in the samsara. So samsaric beings, of course, like has kindness and help each other. That is good conduct. That person is a compassion, good person. Of course, they has good result. And if it's someone kindness to help others, but that's only we cannot say Bodhisattva practice. So Bodhisattva practice is like you really wanted to see the beings suffering in samsara, wanted to help them free from samsara. So then that do action is called 6 parameters, 6 perfections. It's coming, and that person is called Bodhisattva. Then this Bodhisattva really see also beings used to our parents, mother, loved ones. So now they recognize they are suffering. They wanted to help free from suffering. Then also Bodhisattvas knows, like, see, this page, the verses 11 is very important. All suffering comes from which for your own happiness. Perfect Buddhas are born from the thought to help others. Therefore, exchange your own happiness for the suffering of others. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. That's that verses 11 last week are taught lots, so we don't have to go there today. Then verses 12 is, even if someone out of a strong desire stirs all your word or has it stolen, dedicated to him your body, possessions, and your virtue, past, present, and future. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So in this 37 practice, each verses is very powerful. Long as we are stuck in samsara, always we get different situations where the suffering or stuck in the samsara, different ways stuck samsara. Individually have different kind of suffering. Because see here, even if someone out of a strong desire steal your own worth, sometimes you can lost everything. Someone can be stealing your things, everything. Even if someone out of a strong desire steal your own worth or has stolen, then what we have to think that time. Ordinary people really upset and extremely suffering, anger also. And due to that, could be, some people suicide if lost everything because due to emotions. And Bodhisattvas use that suffering and the suffering taken into the path, use that energy, transform. So dedicate to him your body. See, dedicated to him your body, possession, and your virtues, past, present, and future. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. Then that dedicate everything for them, wishing them, my past, present, and the future, what I did good things, also dedication to that person who's stealing the things. We can do that? No, right? If you can do that, you are Bodhisattva. If you cannot do that, then still we are on the path, ordinary person. So we have to use these words, practice. This really helps. Sometimes you lose anything. You can lose your wallet. You can lose not even everything, but you can lose, your car. You can lose your money. You can lose some other object. Then you get really upset and unhappy, suffering. So also angry. This person could be talked. So then during that time, you have to read these verses. Read these verses really helps your mind is calm down. And then you know what you have to do. You lost something, you dedicate, and that what I lost, wishing who talk, no harm for that person, benefit for that person. And so you do dedicate that. And then you're actually truly lost. That become you generosity, giving for someone. Same as you giving for someone, is for generosity. So that merit is never lost. That situation actually sometimes really helps too. If you own things, we are attached to that object. Fixation, we cannot give because due to our desire, attachment, someone stolen away from us, then you dedicate, so you can let go, right? The object is become generosity. So that method we have to use. Otherwise, that method we have to use. Otherwise, we are suffering. We are lose. Okay. First, we lost our object. Whatever we own, money or house or car or anything, it can be lost. Second, upset and anger, emotions. So it's loss and loss. So that's why use this method. Temporarily lost, but truly never lost. Truly you get benefit. Your object, whatever you lost, is generosity. So then also you do dedication this. That helps reduce our attachment, reduce our self-grasping, and create our generosity practice. See, it's great method. Yeah. When I lost something, I always use these words. It's really great. It's otherwise upset, unhappy. And when I read this, it helps the mind is calm down and cultivate again. And okay, so then dedicate the object, whatever I lost, is wish them benefit, no harm for them. Also, I wishing what I lost or stolen, I wish someone really need, someone really need. Wish that person get the object or that person take from me. So wishing them they get benefit. So then that helps, of course, our minds become calm down, and you can control emotion. Yeah. And then you dedicate, your mind is more happy. So temporarily we lost, but truly that no loss. This is generosity. It's a gift for someone who need. So that's verses you have to chant again and again. And then Lord is here says, even if someone out of a strong desire stir or your word or has it is stolen, dedicate to him your body. Can be stolen means like many things, so many different kind of situations. Stolen means. So maybe someone can stolen your girlfriend, someone can stolen your boyfriend, right? Someone stolen your husband, someone stolen your wife. So that's also think about it. Everything is included here. These verses. Then someone can stolen your business, someone stolen your house, someone can stolen your dogs, cat, or animals, what you own, yeah, money and anything. So really bigger and come to the small, everything like included here. Whatever you lost, so you read these verses, cultivate, and give it generosity for them. Then that is become useful. Dedicate to him your body, possessions, and your virtues, past, present, and future. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. And this section have many Bodhisattvas stories. They say, okay, take whatever you need. Someone take, thief comes, they're taking things, and they say, okay, you don't need to stealing, you take everything, whatever I have. So let them go. So many Bodhisattvas has that stories in Tibet, many practitioner stories. So we don't have time to share many stories. Then you just understand when you get this situation, what you have to do. So that's really helps. Also change your life. And our life is so much obstacle. Because someone stealing something, you extremely upset, suffering. Then some people get depression due to that. Someone stealing something from us, depending, which kind, and due to that, the whole life is miserable, can be. So use these verses, practicing, read often, again and again, and then you can let go. But it's hard, not easy, because we are no Bodhisattva yet. Okay, so good is you cultivate, read again and again. These verses really helps. Even your mind like no 100% give up, but at least calm down. You knows what you have to do. Important verses. Then verses 13, even if someone tries to cut off your head when you haven't done the slightest things wrong, out of compassion, take all his misdeeds upon yourself. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. Then see this verses 13, long as we are in this samsara, always other beings harm us. So then if you are Bodhisattva, then no enemies. As long as we are ordinary beings, we have emotion, long as we have emotion, and due to that, and we always have these problems. Then in the samsara, even if someone tries to cut over your head, but someone not really going to cut your head, but cut your benefit, possessions, and many different ways, people harming to you, going to harm to you. So then what you have to do when you have done the slight things wrong? Sometimes you didn't do anything wrong, but people can bigger is they can cut out your head. Small, maybe like something like take advantages from us. So that kind of different kind of situation arise in the long as we're alive. So then, sometimes, of course, we do wrong. And then due to that, some other people, harm us. Sometimes we don't do anything wrong, but some people going to harm us. So there's the Bodhisattvas we already talked up there is thinking about cause and the effect. Even we don't do anything wrong in this life, but could it be something done wrong in the previous life? So here is the most main point is Bodhisattva has compassion. So even even we don't do anything wrong, but someone going to harm us, then Bodhisattva out of compassion, is that Bodhisattvas arise compassion for them. Because if it's something wrong, we did wrong and someone going to harm us, yeah, because that person has a reason to harm us. But sometimes we don't do anything wrong, someone going to harm us, then the Bodhisattva arise compassion to them. The Bodhisattvas see that person is crazy. The person is 100% controlled by emotion. So then that's why the Bodhisattvas arise compassion, take all his misdeeds upon yourself, means the person doing wrong, that create a negative karma. Due to that, and going to lower realms, see that, and take the misdeeds. I can share with you a short story. The Bodhisattva, his name is Tepo Ninja Chenpo, is like ship captain. The most Sangha knows, like I share many times this story. This is the exactly same thing. So this verses, ship captain, the Bodhisattva, his name is Ninja Chenpo, is have a lot of compassion. So ship captain, and when ship is going onto the ocean, so 900 people board in the ship. And then see someone has very strong negative thoughts or emotion. So the person hide the warping, I think kind of knife or something, bring into the ship. See his intention, the person's intention is wanted to carry everyone in the ship. Then that Bodhisattva, Ninja Chenpo, who means like who has compassion, ship captain, he recognizes that, he see that person's emotion. So ship captain recognize the bad guy, his intention is wanted to kill everyone. Ship captain didn't arise anger to that person. Ship captain think about, if this bad guy, yeah, he going to kill 900 people. So due to that, I mean that he going to kill 900 people is created karma. Due to that karma, he going to extremely suffering in the lower realms. He thinking about not he going to killing 900 people. He thinking about his karma. Yeah, the karma taking to the lower realms, many eons, lifetimes suffering. So he see that and arise compassion to the bad guy, bad person, yeah. Because so strong compassion arise for that person. So then the ship captain think, I have to kill him, the bad guy, before he killed these 900 people. He not thinking about to save the 900 people. He wanted to save the bad guy. If I don't kill him, he going to next life, he going to extremely suffer in the lower realms, eons, many eons. So he extremely aroused compassion. He think, I take his suffering. Exactly, he says, see, misdeeds, take all his misdeeds. The ship captain think, I'm going to take his suffering. I carry him and go to lower realms. Rather than he go to lower realms. That compassion, so ship captain care that bad guy. And that is the Bodhisattva's act. See, ship captain, he didn't scared, he died. He really see the bad guy, if care 900 people, that karma taking to lower realms, extremely suffering, the bad guy, enemy. Actually, his enemy, right? He suffering. So the ship captain take his suffering, he wanted to go to lower realms. So that is called Bodhisattva's action. And that story also, long as you have a compassion, then, killing also cannot say no virtuous deeds. Ship captain cared the bad guy, but ship captain actually create accumulation merit. He didn't get negative karma. Because due to his compassion, power of compassion. So, of course, usually we killing other beings means it's negative. We killing other beings, why? Because due to anger, attachment. That's why we kill others. We kill, human beings kill so many animals because due to attachment. Human beings killing each other is because due to anger. And killing is negative, but bodhisattvas have enough compassion. So they can take, all these negative deeds out of compassion, take all his misdeeds up in yourself. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. That is the practice of Bodhisattva. So here, our ability, you think about someone going to anything, just harm to you, then you just think, okay, that person is really create negative karma. And so you have to compassion to that person. So it's a dependent level, right? That we don't have enemies like going to cut over our head, but some, small things, it's just different, situations. Some others upset, and even we don't do wrong anything, but upset and taking advantages from us, or harming a little bit, temporarily harming for us, whatever situation comes. So you recognize that person is controlled by emotion, and then you arise compassion for them, so that then actually purify our karma. This section is actually truly our enemies helping us. If someone going to harm you, if you practice patience and compassion, that purify our karma. So we create many negative karma, the many lifetimes. How are we going to purify that karma? Because we use this method, someone when going to harm us, if you can practice patience, if you can practice compassion, for that person, then patience, compassion, that is dharma. So that is introduced to our karma. So enemies, object of passion, enemy is object of compassion. Actually, we can say, okay, enemy is our object of, no, it's a causes of passion, causes of compassion. Without enemy, we cannot practice passion, we cannot arise true compassion. So that's why enemy really liberating us. If long as we know how to practice this. Enemies helping us, enemies liberating us. But we don't usually understand or recognize that. So when someone going to harm us, we lost patience, easily arise anger for that person, then create the causes of suffering each other. So that is called samsaric beings. And if we wanted to free from samsara, if we want to enlighten, then this enemy is treasure. So more enemies is actually enemies liberating us. Enemy helping us. Enemies creating. We are Buddha. The main point. Yeah. So who can create? We are Buddha. Enemies can create. We are Buddha. Relativists can create. We are samsaric good person. Because we are attached to relatives each other. And enemies can create really true Bodhisattva, truly Buddha. So that's why enemy is Bodhisattvas see their treasure, very important. So anyway, this is also is individual, dependent individual level. And someone going to harm you slightly things also use these words, think about these verses, is really benefit us. This is our protection. Long as you use this method, you never lost. You never lost. Who lost is enemies lost. You are winner, truly winner. Bodhisattvas called true winner, because enemies, they harm to them, they never lost compassion, they never lost passion, and that's why they are winner. The compassion and the passion is truly protection. They protect the samsara, free from samsara. So Bodhisattvas use true, absolute truth protection. Ordinary people, samsaric beings, use protection is causes of suffering. And we think, okay, with anger arise. Our anger subdued other enemies. We think our anger is very, when long as you have anger, you have a power. But anger is negative feeling. It's when anger arises, you don't recognize yourself. You don't have happiness. Actually, you really truly lost happiness. But lost like temporarily winner. But truly we are lost because anger controlled already us. That's why this verses is very powerful. When you anger, someone harm to you, cultivate, read, and regret. Then verses 14, even if someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remarks about you throughout the 3,000 words, in the return with a loving mind, speak of his good qualities. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. Then Bodhisattvas said also, long as we are in the samsara, we are human being, ordinary being, always you hear, negative words too. So not always people praise to you. Long as you have praised someone, someone also tell you, it's he says like unpleasant remark, yeah. Even if someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remark about you throughout the 3,000 words, someone telling you negativity too. So Bodhisattvas usually no attached to someone pressed to, no hatred to someone saying negativity. So there be equanimity. And then also we think about, someone, we have many people press to us, then someone of course has someone broadcast negativity too. So it's always, this is dependent, right? If you have someone broadcast good things, then of course broadcast negativity too. So that's why we use this method, and someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remark about you throughout the 3,000 words, but you never lost your happiness. The person really cannot destroy you. Otherwise, it's that person, actually kind of like really destroy you. Use this method, you never lost. The other enemies never destroy you. So, yeah, long as we are stuck in samsara, you always people telling you bad things. You can hear that. But then you use this method, all kinds of unpleasant remarks to you throughout the 3,000 words. Return with a loving mind. So speak of his good qualities. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So long as you love to that person, loving mind, then that person also, of course, is also dependent, right? Many different situations. So not always the same situation. The people telling this bad kind of words, not same situation. Sometimes like people telling you this kind, you selling loving kind of speak to that person, there naturally change. So someone, if someone say nice words to you, and you also going to say nice words to them, right? So someone really harsh and bad words speak to you, so you reply very nice, politely, become that person's change too. You smiling for someone, that person also smiling to you, right? You look very angry for someone, that person also acting, same exactly like looking to you angrily. So if you loving mind respect of good qualities, that person is, you can change. But this is also dependent situation. So you have to know which kind of method you have to use. The most important is first you look to your mind, control our anger. Because someone telling bad words, it's not easy. Very hard to control our mind. We are reborn in samsara many lifetimes. We have very strong karmic imprints, fixation to the words. So someone say good words, easily happy, attached to that. Someone say bad words, easily upset because we are fixation to the words. We don't have realized song is emptiness. So long as we don't have song is hearing song is emptiness, then you don't fixation to the words. Then someone saying these bad words, you can use this loving kindness mind for that person. But until that, it's really hard, not easy. But when you hear these negative words, then, low to your mind, not try to arise anger, and, just cultivate, think about the words is truly not exist. Sometimes the words, if you know fixation to the words, song, then this word song not going to harm to you. It's empty. But long as you fixation to that, the words, the song is same, is the bomb, destroy your heart. Yeah. And so that's why when you hear these unpleasant words, then just cultivate also loving the kindness. Of course, it's harder to cultivate than think about the words is not exist. And this words is really harming to you. Recognize words is not important. And so long as the upset, anger arise, that is truly enemy. The words is not really enemy, but the true enemy is our anger. Then if long as you know fixation to the words, then you can control your anger. So in that part is like, of course, the Bodhisattva, we talk about so many different kind of methods, teachings, sharing, practice. So control the anger when we hear the bad words. And then how to control our mind, how to action we can do act for that person. And action is like loving mind, speak of his good qualities. So that's the Bodhisattva does, practice Bodhisattva. But harder to do that. Just a good thing also when someone telling you bad words and broadcast all kinds of unpleasant remarks about you through all the 3,000 words. So you think about these verses. Read these verses again and again, cultivate. The verses really protect you, this practice. Then verses 15. Though someone may dread and speak bad words about you in a public gathering. So this is very similar but slightly different situation with verses 14 and 15. Though someone may dread and speak bad words about you in a public gathering, looking on him as a spiritual teacher, bow to him with respect. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. Okay, someone may dread and speak bad words about you in a public gathering, in the public or front of the many people gathering. They're telling you then bad words. What usually happen? Really upset, anger, right? So then these practitioners, Bodhisattva practitioners, looking on him as a spiritual teacher. Can you do that? No, right? It's not. If you can in that, then you are Bodhisattva. But no, you think, oh, I cannot do that. You don't need to feel pressure of yourself. Because we are learning, practicing, cultivating this practice. So this situation always happen. Of course, like long as you be with human beings, all these human beings are called ordinary beings. Ordinary beings means like everyone has emotions. Long as you be with them, always you can hear this kind of words. So you hear this kind of words, you're upset, then your whole life is upset, unhappy, and anger. So because people saying all the time like negative words, you're hearing that, you're upset, it's a suffering. Then we use this verses, this method. These negative words, bad words cannot harm us, because this is a true protection. So someone telling you these kind of things, and you gathering, looking on him as a spiritual teacher, you think, oh, that person is my spiritual teacher. He tell me my weakness. He tell me my negativity, so I can change that, right? And I didn't recognize what I'm doing wrong. So then also you think, oh, that person telling me very bad words is I can use my practice patience. And I need this kind of words because I need to practice patience. So you think that and cultivate, then your upset emotion can release, purified. Otherwise, your upset emotion, anger is always in your mind. Because of someone telling you bad words, you cannot sleep. You're thinking about that again and again, or to going to replay to that words. They're saying you and 10%, you wanted to try to replay 20% strong, then that. If you expect 20, you heard the 10% negative, you expect replay back 20% more strong than that, then that person also going to replay back 40% strong than that. And then you're going to do another 60% more strong words, harsh words, negativity, and that person going to 80%. Then go up to 100%, then both die. So that's what the samsaric beings does usually. And so these bodhisattvas, when they hear these negative words and use that, practice patience, practice love and compassion. So these negative words never harm to them. And then also they use that negative words and practice patience and compassion, growing their, increasing their qualities. So the bodhisattvas hearing these bad words and someone harm to them, someone stealing from them, and they all is useful for them. They take that everything is for the path and increasing their practice. Ordinary person, all these kind of things is really hard, or is bad actually. Ordinary person, negativity. Someone stealing our things is we upset. Someone harm us, beat us, or even not going to cut a head, but it's beat us, yeah, and or something use like things like it's kind of like anything, like we get hurt our body and we are suffering, unhappy, upset, it's always miserable. Then of course, like speak bad words also terrible, right? Someone telling us suffering, but bodhisattvas use this old method to taking to the path. So this is all is creating enlightening qualities. This is the causes of a Buddha. Someone stealing our things, someone harming for us physically, someone harming for us not physically but verbally, words, use words, negative words, and that all is bodhisattvas taking into the path. That is all is causes of enlightenment. Spiritual teacher brought to him with respect. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. So when someone telling you better words, think about these verses. Yeah, that's also really helps. Long as we stay in the human being in the life, you have all this kind of situation we get. Then use these verses, cultivate. This negativity cannot harm for us. We can use this negativity and create our, passion and love and compassion. Verses 16. Even if a person for whom you have cared like your own child regards you as an enemy, cherish him especially like a mother does her child who is stricken with sickness. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So this verses 16 is our loved ones. So you love, you care about that person, and then that person is always make you, like recognize kind of enemy or make you always difficulty, and they try to harm to you. So we have to cultivate this verses 16. So especially like you care someone really, they're going to harm you. They are very powerful. You extremely upset because you thinking about, then, oh, I did so much for that person. I care about that. So no, that person say, harm me, and I did good things for them. They're doing all negative, bad things for me. So you think that, and you extremely sad and suffering, upset, unhappy. So then that's then really harm to you because the enemy, no enemy, but like someone you really care that not nice to you, and that they regards you as an enemy, then you're extremely upset, unhappy. So you use this method. Cherish him, especially like a mother does her child who's stricken with sickness. Then you can release anger, upset, emotions. Easily you can let go and cultivate love, compassion again for that person. Because you see that person is, same is like a mother does her child who is stricken with sickness. That person is a sickness, is emotion sickness. That's why they does like this kind of negativity. Otherwise, of course, like someone love you, caring for you, so you're not going to do that, right? Someone you love for someone, you care for someone, then that person never going to do, regards you as enemy. But if someone does like that, that person is truly sick. So we usually say mental problem, but maybe the emotion problem. True emotion, so strong negativity, ignorant. And you recognize that, and then so cultivate love and compassion that person. Then that kind of situation not going to harm you. Use that negativity, you can take to the path. Use that negativity, it's become spiritual path. So you not get stuck suffering, you get to become more strong, love and compassion. So here is, or this practice is love, compassion is protection, true protection. Long as love, compassion arise in these situations, the situation never going to harm to you. So we don't have love and compassion, of course, this situation really harm to you. Every these situations, different kind of situations. What is going to harm to you? Anger arises. Anger is our true enemy. And they upset, yeah? So many emotion, source arise. So that truly destroy us. That's why you love compassion using method, practice, and protecting us. The Bodhisattvas use always the protection is love and compassion. Saying this is the practice of Bodhisattva. Verses 17. If in equal or inferior person disparages you out of pride, bless him as you would your spiritual teacher with respect on the crown of your head. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. If equal, like kind of we are equal situation, or inferior person, like someone is like actually everything is lower than us. So education, yeah, material, object, everything is lower than us. And then inferior person disparages you out of pride. Then that due to the pride, anger, place him as you would your spiritual teacher. They try to push you down. They think they are something special. So then due to the pride, so then you use this method to place him as your word, your spiritual teacher. You think, okay, he's my spiritual teacher. Yeah. And with respect, because give respect for that person, respect on the crown of your head. So, and this all today we sharing the teaching is not talking about worldly, samsara. What is the good or bad, right? Protections. This is a spiritual Bodhisattva's path. It's totally different opposite. Of course, in the worldly, inferior person disparages you out of pride, you're going to subdue that person. Yeah. Use your power or your anger or your pride, use that, you have to subdue that person. But that is worldly, activity or worldly people, beings does that. So that's kind of all these human beings always do. Truly, actually, yeah, then we do that, but we never get any benefit. So no someone equal or inferior person disparage you out of pride, so then you place him as your word, your spiritual teacher, and you respect that person. So reduce our pride, jealousy. See, we get rid of our emotions using this method. They're really helping us reduce our pride. They're really helping us reduce our anger. They're really helping us reduce our attachment. So think about it, in these verses, each one has different, benefit. The verses 12 is if someone out of a strong desire stay all your words as stalling, means like they're helping us reduce our attachment. Yeah. And other in these many sections, 13, 14, 15, is they reduce our anger. So note this verses 16 and 17 is reduce our pride and jealousy. So they're taking away our anger, jealousy, attachment, pride. So they are truly teacher, actually. They're truly spiritual teacher. They really benefit us. They get rid of our emotions. But we don't recognize that usually, ordinary beings. So that's why we are stuck in samsara. and someone stealing things from us, we are strongly attached, desire that, upset, and more attachment. Someone saying bad words and hit us, harm for us, extremely anger arise. Someone saying this kind of push down us, extremely pride, anger, and jealousy. So that's what the human beings, ordinary beings does, but Bodhisattvas never do same as the ordinary people does. That's what they call Bodhisattvas. They use a totally different method. So this is the say, okay, if place him as you word your spiritual teacher with respect on the crown of your head. This is the practice of Bodhisattva. So now time is okay. Though you lack what you need and are constantly disparaged, afflicted by dangerous sickness and spirits without discouragement, take on his misdeeds and the pain of all living beings. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. Though you like what you need and are constantly disparaged. Okay, so this is the very important verses again. So we always, due to our desire, so though you like what you need, we always wanting. Human beings' desires so strong, and human being desires never end. So always wanting something, right? Though you like what you need, so then we don't get. Human beings never satisfied. So they, of course, this is all depending everyone. If the millionaires, billionaires, also due to the desire, and they never satisfy what they have, and then they, due to that, they never satisfy, and they think they didn't successful, they upset, extremely suffering at their level. And then, of course, they due to all the really poor people too. Though you like what you need, when some need food, clothes, then hard to get, and are constantly disparaged. Then also like another bad luck after another bad luck. So many obstacles coming all the time. First, you hunger, and then you get sick, and you get like problem with the family. So problem with many different kind, situation arise. Constantly disparate, afflicted by dangerous sickness and spirits. So sometimes like you get sick, and sometimes you fears like spirits or other, non-human beings attacking you, and different kind of situations, negative suffering, obstacles arise without discouragement. So then we think, oh, human beings, ordinary people, is just so much upset and lose all courage. So then we say, why I have this problem? Why? They cannot take care, and then the only method is suicide. They don't have any other method. So that kind of suffering. No, it's also due to this coronavirus, and many people get sick, and also then relatives loss and sick, and the job also lost. Many suffering, difficulty coming one by one. After long as we stuck in samsara, the suffering is never end. So always there. And then what are we going to do that kind of difficult time? So we have to use this, take on the misdeeds and the pain of all living beings. Use Tonglen meditation. Tonglen is I think this teaching I talked, share with you Tonglen. Take on his misdeeds and all the pain of living beings. So now we have to no lost courage, create more courage, and think my suffering is representative of all the other beings' suffering. So if you get sick, this sickness is representative of my mother's sickness, my father's sickness, my relative's sickness, or then think about other beings' sickness. So taking all these other beings' suffering, sickness, and or whatever the problem is like we have, so to use our problem, and then other who has the same problem take that suffering. So taking all other beings' suffering. Then that's the practice of Bodhisattvas. The many Bodhisattvas go through that level practicing. When they get sick, and then they say, I'm happy to sick. And sick is due to my karma, so I'm purifying my karma. I'm happy to purify my karma, and also this sickness is representative of all mother beings' sickness. When we have become Buddha, we have free from sickness. We are free from, and poverty. So like what you need and our constantly disparage it, yeah. And Buddha means free from these all obstacles. If we wanted to free from these obstacles, we have to go through that, use that, and transform. Otherwise, we cannot become Buddha. So, enlightened beings free from this obstacle. Why they are free from this obstacle? Because when they get sick, when they get this kind of obstacle, then they use this loving kindness, compassion, and they take all other beings' suffering, and they become more courage and free from, winner from these obstacles. That's why this Bodhisattvas, Buddhas called conqueror, is free from these sufferings. If we wanted to free from these sufferings, we have to follow this method, practice this method. That method only helps us permanently free from this suffering. So otherwise, we get sick and upset, then just go to see the doctor, recover maybe temporarily, but still this suffering many causes are still there. We didn't free from sickness, disease. So Bodhisattvas free from diseases and sickness because they use this method and practice. They use love and compassion, so they become free from these obstacles. That's why it's this loving kindness and others use that and take on the misdeeds, and others taking and others misdeeds and compassion, taking all suffering, other beings suffering, misdeeds, and loving for other beings. So that is called Tonglen meditation. Living beings, and this is the practice of Bodhisattva. That's called true Bodhisattva's practice. So we can leave there today. We finish how many verses today? It's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We finish 7 verses. I think that's a good number. Thank you, everyone. So now we're going to do the dedication, and after, if you have questions, we can discussion. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lodigampopa, Pamotuba, Lodigomba, please be stopping osmos auspicious blessing or Kajulamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who traverse on the webs of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where is humble may it rise, where is a bomb has no decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have a good health. I pray that the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities I pray find a wife. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did Samanta Bhara, I will follow in the path and fully dedicated, married for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha, who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma aside, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the Mary Asha bear fruit. By this virtue collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Gomparana Shri, whose omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation unto the end of samsara. Thank you, everyone. So now do you have any questions?
David. Go ahead, please.
I was thinking about, okay, this is the way of the Bodhisattva. And it's also the way of the ordinary people that want to be a Bodhisattva. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. But how to really conduct ourselves and lead with all of these emotions. Okay, we are understanding the lessons, but when you are in a confrontation with this kind of emotions, with your husband, with your brother and sisters that you really love, but sometimes it's a kind of trigger, that despair, this feeling, or even a sickness. I don't know, I was here listening you talking about when you are sick and you see the sickness as the sickness of your own mother and sister and all sentient beings, etc. In terms of a mental thing, we understand, but it's really difficult to put this in practice. Even we read and read and read and read again. How?
It's not easy. That's why many beings in samsara they attain enlightenment. So we have to cultivate again and again. So that helps meditate, yeah? Yes. And when you get sick or losing someone, stealing, or someone made you anger, upset, so cultivate these verses. Yeah.
Take this book with you everywhere, and every time this begin, you start reading. Okay.
Yes.
Try to do this.
Kempo, you have a friend here who wants to say good night to you.
Okay. Who is that?
Fala pra ele.
Have a bye. Good night.
Good night.
Ah,
Hi, Kempo. Manda beijo pra ele.
Good night. You can see your father there on the zone.
Quer que eu passe pra ele? She wants to hear
Hi,
Tara's.
Tara Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you please do it for her?
Why Tara Mantra?
Yeah.
Oh. Who is a good singer here?
You, Nanala.
Okay.
Archie is a good singer. Archie.
So today I do Om Tare Tu Re Mama Ayujana Penye Pudren Kure Soha. Okay, so that's enough for you.
Mais um? Tá bom.
Okay,
Oh, thank you.
great.
Okay, thank you, Kempo.
Thank you.
Next is Rodrigo. You have a question.
I have two, but I'll do one. It's Trisha's, and then
Okay.
Melissa can do her question, and then if there's time and enough time, I can do mine. So Trish asked in the chat that Garchin Rinpoche a couple of weeks ago mentioned what you just said, Kempo, about killing animals, that is due to attachment. Can you elaborate a bit more about that? As she said, she doesn't quite understand why attachment or greed can cause that.
Mhm.
Also, she said that Garchin Rinpoche said that it was due to stinginess, and she didn't quite understand it.
I don't remember what Gachin was. I mean, I didn't listen to the teaching, so.
But I think you said the same thing.
Ask question to him is better.
No, because you said that killing animals is due to attachment. You said that as well.
So because we wanted to meet, that is attachment, right? We want to attach to the animals, leather, skin, body, and everything. That's attachment.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. When we kill the animals, attachment. People go to fishing, cook fish, and they always want attachment. Yeah, animals
Great.
didn't harm us because we don't have anger to them much, but we attach to them, attachment. That's why we're killing, torture. Yeah. Animals extremely suffering due to the human beings. Because see, the owner of the cows, the created cows is a really big fat. What they want, their attachment, desire. Chickens stuck in the cage. So why? Because the owner's attachment, desire. Why we own these animals? Because attachment. Yeah. Sometimes, like, of course, like, cannot say 100%. Some cat, dogs, their owners like take care. Then we don't anything like importing dogs, a cat. These things. When they die, not any useful. So you taking care that is different. Other, or is attachment.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you, Kempo.
You're welcome.
I think now it's Melissa's time.
Yes, but Rodrigo, why don't you go ahead with your other question? Because that was someone else's. I'm fine with waiting, even if we don't have time. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I was wondering, Kempo, about the last verse, the 18th, that you said that it says that you take, oh, big lightning bolt here. So if you should take the misdeeds and sufferings of the others and transform it, right? But what if you're not ready to that? And what if you take those and you keep them with you? You are not able to transform it. How do you know you are able to take on those and transform it? Or you can become sick yourself if you're taking the sickness of the others and you don't know how to manage that.
So you cultivate the thing that the sick is I'm taking all these other beings suffering, sickness, and you're not going to wars again, but your minds become more courage. So that really helps your good medicine. You just mentally cultivating, your minds become growing and strong and strong. So you think my sick is useful for something. Otherwise, like, why I'm going to sick, why I'm suffering? You upset, like, oh, my suffering is okay. I take all these other beings suffering. You feel happy and sad. That helps you. Yeah, cultivating. Yeah. We cannot really take others' suffering because due to karma. So otherwise, why Buddha, he didn't take all beings suffering? He said he cannot take beings suffering, but he can help us how to remove the suffering. Yes. He teaches us how to do. He support helping. And then we have to put effort. Okay, so Melissa.
Thank you.
Kempo, I want to be very honest with you. First of all, I trust you 100%, and I believe you 100%. But one problem I have is this. These teachings are so relevant to me because I had a total attachment and anger attack today, completely. And even as I was getting angry, I said, gee, I'm really attached. Gee, I'm losing awareness. And it took me away anyway. So the question I have is that cultures are different. And in a lot of my life, I'm in America, I'm American, it is, people have taken advantage of me. And that has caused a lot of anger. And so if I'm in a situation where I feel people are taking advantage of me, now I get very angry. One of the problems in America is if you are patient and do not speak up and protect yourself verbally, they take more advantage. And so are you saying, so even in our culture, if you don't speak up for yourself and protect yourself verbally or in a strong way, people will treat you even worse. And if they witness that, more people will take advantage. Are you saying, even if that is true, we should do this method, right?
If you have really good high level practicing, great to do that, but it's also depending, it's individual level. Buddha shared, he said, you can give up your body, but he didn't say everyone should give up the body. He says, give right hand to left hand, left hand to right hand, cultivate the first level. So you can find some levels there, what is suited for you, due to your situation. And if you have, of course, like no any graspings, like high level Bodhisattva, then is whatever in the says is like you can completely 100% you can do that. Someone that taking advantages, whatever, so that you know get suffering. You're just laughing yourself. See them is what they're doing, you know, because you know losing anything. They're not taking really any advantages from you because you truly understanding you know absolute truth is everything is emptiness, right? No exist. So, but we do to our level is a self-grasping. We recognize someone taking advantages. You know, we do use exactly say we have to speak up, and we have to speak up and also mindful with awareness and without angrily and truly and correctly, no harming for the other, you know, not try to winner ourselves, but truly you have to say, and put that, they're also protecting you, protect others too. You know that because like others, if you don't say and they take advantages, they also create a karma. So you that also good intention. We need to create a good intention. If I don't speak up, the person create a karma. And you know, I have to say true, correctly, then without anger. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
You-
you. Om Vasha Sapahong.
Okay, so then no questions. Thank you, everyone. And see you tomorrow. And also after 2 weeks.
Kempo.
Bye,
Thank
Kempo.
you.
Yeah, after 2 weeks again, the 37 practice. Don't forget Thursday. I don't know which Thursday. No, next one is following Thursday. This is a harder to follow, you know, each other weeks.
Every 15 days, 14 days. Every
14 days, each 14 days. 14 days go so fast.
I know.
Wow.
Yes.
Everything is going so fast.
Yeah.
The next 37 practice teaching will be October 14th. So everybody mark your calendar.
Okay.
Including me.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kempo.
Rodrigo.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kempo
Sangha.
and everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you.